Hello, it's Saturday, April 13th. Welcome to the channel here. Mostly about fishing and Northwest adventures. I never did a review on this boat, and it's getting sold here pretty soon, and the next boat's on order, so I kind of figured I'd do a walkthrough on this Weldcraft Rebel 202 that we've been fishing since the end of 2018. A lot of rivers, lakes, ocean, a lot of salmon, crab, halibut, kokanee. It's been just an all-around SUV of boats. It's been really good. I've been real happy with it. It's actually a discontinued model. They've moved on to either doing a little slightly larger version of this in a hard top, and then a slightly smaller version without a hard top. So the Rebel series is discontinued, but there's some similar boats from Weldcraft, and they're real high quality. I haven't had anything bad to say about it. It's been a good boat. I'll start off here. The trailer, swing away tongue. I haven't been a huge fan of having that. What I did go ahead and do was get rid of the factory Fulton, same brand as the winch, but the winch hasn't had any issues. And there's an eBay company back east, so you can order these fully welded swing away tongues to replace the cast one that comes on these easy loader trailers. And I would highly recommend doing that, or just eliminate the swing tongue altogether, because that Fulton one got pretty loose after the first year and a half. Other than that, it's been a good trailer. I've only had to replace one caliper and a few not real minor wiring issues, but nothing bad. Oil bath hubs. Definitely would never have another boat trailer that doesn't have the oil bath hubs. That's just great. You don't even have to think about it. Don't hardly have to adjust anything. Just make sure there's oil in the little window, and it takes care of itself. On the front of the boat from the outside, I don't know if anybody's used any of the Fish Fighter products. I've been a huge fan of it. This has the removable puck system, so you can take your anchor nest off and get it out of there when you're not using it. You don't have the anchor nest up on the front of your bow the rest of the year. I only really use this in the springtime for either springers or shad or some catch and release sturgeon, and then the rest of the year is trolling, and I really don't need this on there. So that's really nice. And this anchor holds really well. It's really not that much more than any other Columbia River anchor, and it holds really well. So that was a little upgrade. Of course, we got the VHF for when we're out there in the ocean. Electric wipers are a must if you're going to be out and offshore at all, when you're going to have that salt spray. Got to get it off your windshield. This has the 3 rod holders on the side. On this side, it's got the middle 4 rod holder stock from the factory that it came with, but that still wasn't enough, so I added some other plastic rod holders on the side. So we're able to hold plenty of rods, and somehow I still managed to fill it up when we're doing a day of combination of coho and halibut and rockfish, and you end up using. This boat, we did a lot of kokanee fishing in the beginning, and so we ran 4 downriggers. Kind of copied the guy that got me into this, Jeremy Johns, Kokanee Kid, and also took his recommendation, went with cannons. I've had zero regrets about that. A lot more user-friendly than the Scotties to me. And they've just been 2 Mag 10s and then 2 of the Optimums with their own transducer, and then they talk to each other, so you can control depth, and they can have an auto upsetting if they get below a certain or above a certain depth. I did go with the dual bilge pumps gives you a lot of peace of mind out there in the ocean. One's switch controlled, one's float switch controlled. I wanted to add that on when I first got it, just in case. Do have, so there's the transducer, the main for Garmin 1042, and the other one for the Canon downriggers. I don't have live scope on here. The next boat's going to have it. I just really like the live scope. Yamaha 150. This boat can go up to 200. It was rated for, but the 150 was plenty to push this. We're 20 feet plus the offshore bracket. You know, around 23 or so, and I never had an issue with not having enough power. Then we've got our 9.9 Yamaha kicker with the Garmin reactor. I got one of the very first Garmin reactors in the Northwest, so there were some bugs for the first few years, but pretty much every part of it has gotten replaced. And now we've got a really nice functioning Garmin that just takes your hand off the wheel and lets you fish. Definitely will have some kind of autopilot in the next boat. Might be a bow mount, but we might do a kicker. We're kind of going back and forth. Here's the Canons. That's the factory mounts here. Then we added, Portland Marine Electronics added these. So I get 4 downriggers. I mean, we'll run up to 8 rods, stacking all 4 downriggers with 2 rods each. Can get a little crazy sometimes, but it's nice to have those options to present that many different options for the fish. That's kind of the gist of the outside. Oh, the other cool thing that I really liked was putting these quick disconnects for the motors, so when you are sitting in the dock and you want to flush them, makes it really easy to do that. So there's kind of an overview. The inside, I don't have the curtain. It does have the back curtain on there, but I don't know, most of the time I keep it down because it just gives more room. Another thing, we got the Canon downriggers with 4 different power ports, and then also, if I can find it, the plug-in for the transducer that'll go into one of these Optimums. These covers are nice. Optimums, and then the other 2 are Mag 10s. So I ran the 2 Optimums up front and the 2 Mag 10s in the back. Another addition was this fish fighter rail system. Definitely would have this on another boat. You get so many options for being able to switch stuff around, different heights, and they're super strong. I've had some big halibut with these sitting in the holder hit, and also snagged on the bottom, and we haven't bent anything or anything. And then you got all these other options with the cup holders, because this boat was kind of short on cup holders, so it was nice to be able to add those on. And then they've got all that rod tender system. It's great for trolling. I think we'll add that on next time, for just being able to stash your rods and all the baits and everything else standing up and not laying down on the boat. So you got your davit here that comes in really handy. It just pivots out to the side, and you can just take the top part off of there and stash it when you're not using it. It's been really good. Down below, I've got our dual bilges there, an onboard charging system, keeps those batteries nice and topped, switch, and then all our filters, wash down. There's the wash down there. Of course, on a quick disconnect too. Everything I've got is all quick disconnect, makes it really nice. Dual batteries, and then a remote bus bar back there that kind of keeps your batteries clean. Had Clemens Marine upgrade that this year just because there was just too much of a mess of wires on the batteries. One more thing down here is the washdown's got a split. And that forward split goes up here to a freshwater bladder that I installed. I didn't like the idea of pumping salt water into the boat, so that holds about 25 gallons of fresh, and you're rinsing your boat with fresh the whole time. And it really, you know, there's probably a decent amount of weight in water when that thing's full, but I don't even notice it in this boat. So that was another little upgrade I made. We've got 4 speakers in here. We can really crank out some sound when we're just doing those summer day river cruises. VHF. And Garmin 1042. It's been a great unit. And then everything's integrated through the NMEA system. So we've got our Fusion radio. The live well controls the washdown. Some LEDs that we added for the rear. Wiper control. Nav lights, of course, and then the secondary bilge pumps on here, and the automatic one's just on its own. Yamaha controls, readout. Did add the Smooth Moves seat to the drivers. If I was keeping this longer, I'd add it to the passengers too. But that's been, yeah, that really makes a difference for long runs for sure. It's got the porta potty underneath here, which is definitely coming useful with kids and other people on board that need to take care of business. Another storage down here. And then, of course, you got nice little storage compartment down here. And tons of storage up under there. And the Garmin reactor, the brains of it's mounted way up under the bow up there. The nice thing too on this is a hardtop version. Really glad that we went that way. Originally we were going to get a 3/4 hardtop or a soft top, and I will never go back to a soft top or 3/4. No regrets about the top. Every once in a while the wind's an issue, but it makes up for it for just being comfortable. And if you take one over the bow, it gives you that confidence. Of course, anchor locker storage, everything here drains overboard. Nice diamond plate up front. Access there for if you were gonna add anything else up front. Bow mount. That puck system also up front would let you have a bow mount and swap it for the anchor without having to leave anything mounted on the front of your boat, which is a real nice system. This is the curtain is right there. It's kind of, you know, it just zips in, and then it's got all the snaps stuff. But yeah, it's been a great boat. We've fished, I mean, I think the very first time we actually fished, one day we just took a pleasure cruise in it after we bought it, and then the very next time I took it out, took my father-in-law out for his birthday, and caught a salmon basically first. So we got blood in the boat real quick, and it's been a fishy boat ever since. Oh yeah, fish box back here, another little bait tray that plugs in there. We've had that thing absolutely stuffed before going long leader fishing out there out of Newport, where we could barely close the lid. Oh, that's the other thing. I do have some electric fishing reels, and I wired them into the same Scotty or Canon plugs, so we don't have to have 2 different power sources. So that's pretty handy. But anyway, that's a review of the Weldcraft Rebel 202. It's been a good boat, and it's going to go on and catch some fish for some other people, and we're gonna get the next one here in June, so I'll do a review of that one and hopefully have some on the water fishing videos for you guys. All right, have a good one. Tight lines.